I congratulate you, class, on your graduating today and on achieving an important milestone in your lives. Many of you have reached where you are today because of the support and sacrifice of family members, friends, and those who have taught and mentored you through the many years of your education. In these circumstances, one often returns to the African proverb that says, "It takes a village to raise a child." Each one of you is the product of some village of people who helped and guided you to this point. And even as we acclaim your achievement, I ask that you give them thanks. It is an honor and pleasure to be here today for the very first time to address you at this gathering of graduates and others as Chancellor of the University of Guyana. I thank the Council of the University of Guyana, the Minister of Education and the Government of Guyana for placing their faith in me, and I promise to do my very best to advance and promote the interests of this institution. The University of Guyana has been home to intellectual greats such as Professor Clive Thomas, Dr. Ulrich Cross, Dr. George Walcott, Dr. Walter Rodney, to name a few. Many of your graduates have gone on to distinguish themselves nationally, regionally, and internationally. You should be very proud of the contributions this institution has made. Many of those accomplishments go unrecognized, and I urge you to become familiar with the history of your university, and in so doing, gain a better appreciation for the absolute need for you to continue to remain engaged as alumni, mentors to current and future students, adjunct lecturers, advocates, and donors of scholarships and other gifts that will build this institution. Getting a university education is an extremely valuable acquisition, both for yourselves and the society or societies in which you will live. Countless studies have shown that a university education provides graduates with increased lifetime earnings, greater chances of job mobility, a greater sense of fulfillment in life, and the capacity to be better informed and socially involved citizens. University graduates are more likely to be involved in the social, political, and cultural activities of their communities, which contribute to the enrichment of their societies and to their well-being. There are other benefits, and as a physician myself, let me tell you that graduates of universities have been shown to have improved lifestyles and to live longer than those without university education. The benefits of higher education extend to the children of graduates, where studies have shown that children of graduates are less subject to child abuse and neglect, have greater intellectual ability, lower failure rates, and more likely to pursue higher education. Thus, a university degree benefits not only graduates themselves, but it extends to generations after you. Well, the good news, and I gave you the good news, a degree by itself will certainly not be the sole determinant of your personal advancement. I believe there are three essential ingredients necessary for advancement in whatever field one has chosen. They are initiative, passion, and persistence. The first of these, initiative, is in my own mind and in that of many a manager and employer the most important. Initiative means initiate, being self-starters, people who are agents of change, people with the ability to work beyond their specific responsibilities. I believe that one must have a can-do approach to life. It is true that initiative alone may not be enough. One does need to have some intellectual ability and common sense. But all other things being equal, it is oftenest those who are prepared to go the extra mile at whatever they do who will prevail. If your life's journey turns out to be like mine, you will find that there has been often little correlation between those who have been the top of the class and those who will ultimately do best. Whatever that best is for you, becoming leaders of organizations in which you will work, making outstanding contributions to communities in which you live, maybe even president of Guyana, it is those with initiative who will prevail. Grades may be important in landing you your first job, but they won't be what will be important in landing you your second and third jobs. Once you've landed a job, initiative begins with you becoming thoroughly acquainted with what is expected of you. Even if that first job is in your discipline, your education will probably not be sufficient to provide you with the knowledge and skills you need to perform at your best. A major complaint of employers I've met in Guyana and the Caribbean is that university graduates are not prepared for the jobs available. My response is that we cannot prepare students for every job. Indeed, in today's rapidly developing world, the nature of jobs will change many times in the course of your lifetime. Who would have predicted the internet, iPhones, Wikipedia, and all of this 30 years ago? What we should expect of our graduates is that they will have the initiative, passion, and persistence to become acquainted with whatever task they must do by aggressively seeking out knowledge, using ICT modalities, reading journals, manuals, and other sources of information to be the best at what you're doing and to keep current as new knowledge evolves in your field. Initiative expects that you're continually looking to improve the service or the products or the systems your organization is providing. I have always said no one succeeds in a working 9 to 5. If you're not able to work beyond the 9 to 5, neither you nor your organization are going to do very well. One of my major concerns dealing with government departments and businesses in the Caribbean is too often there's an absence of sufficient desire among employees and their managers to engineer improvement and change. We live in a world that is galloping along with new technologies, niftier ways of getting tasks accomplished, more efficient means of collecting and analyzing data. Yet so many in our space seem content with the status quo. I believe we need a culture in which we actively seek to solve problems, to make processes easier, to seek customers who will select our organization, our country, our region over the rest. I have spoken primarily about initiative, but I want to mention two other characteristics that really flow from initiative. That is passion and persistence. I'm not going to prolong a long evening speaking about these traits, but I speak of passion with respect to developing enthusiasm for whatever you're doing. Everything in life may not be ideal, but the ability to develop a consuming interest in whatever one does is an important factor in doing a job well. Looking back on my own life, where I have had a variety of jobs and tasks, friends have accused me of being too focused on given endeavors, perhaps too passionate about what I do. In truth, this has its shortcomings, but whatever I did gave me the joy and satisfaction in undertaking any job I had. A word about persistence. Seeing projects through to completion is a critical ingredient to success. Even if in circumstances like those in which we live, we may require more effort and time to get projects finished. One of the invidious features I have found all too often is that people give up easily. In the context of a region, everyone seems able to recite what is wrong with our country and our region. And there are an abundance of ideas about how to fix our ailments, but the determination to translate ideas into action and the persistence needed to see projects to completion, circumventing obstacles as they arise, is too often missing. In my previous job as VC of the UE, we have taken on projects that required commitment for 3 years, 4 years, and in one case 10 years, and I left it still being done. But in truth, with persistence, we were able to accomplish so very much. And I'll tell you that in our midst, there are many persons with sufficient talent and ability to enable change. But those persons must be imbued with initiative, possessed with passion, and determination to get things done. I cannot predict how any of your lives will evolve, but I urge you not to limit yourselves to the job assigned you. Strive to identify new ways to make better whatever organizations of which you will become a part. Go beyond the routine day-to-day drudge of an assigned job. Be bold, be daring, be passionate and persistent. And in this way, you will fulfill the promise and hard work that brought you to this point today. Go there and make a difference. In closing, let me express on behalf of the whole university and Guyana our thanks to Vice Chancellor Professor Jacob Opadiah, who will demit office in another few months. I have been Chancellor for just about 2 months, and I believe that VC Opadiah has gone to great personal lengths to promote the growth and standards of the university. Among his achievements have been enhancement of the financial, accounting, and management systems of the university, reduction of the university's deficit by negotiating additional government funding, facilitating the promotion of a number of faculty members, while working to ensure that a greater percentage of academic staff have high degrees. He's played a major role in managing the World Bank UG Technology Support Project. And I hope that project will help transform science, technology, and engineering education at UG. I'm making a mistake here too. Professor Opadiah has worked on enhancing linkages with the private sector. And in particular, I want to mention his facilitating a gift of 2,000 classroom chairs from Mr. Sator and Ms. Amina Ghafoor, which has served to alleviate some of our furniture shortages. I want to express our heartfelt thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Ghafoor for their generosity. I am told too that several private sector organizations have contributed to tonight's ceremony, and I want to thank them. VC Opadiah's tenure has not been without its challenges. Inevitably, issues of an underfunded institution, non-competitive staff salaries, gaps in capacity to undertake some teaching and research programs, inadequate infrastructure, and differing views about how best to address these issues create difficulties for both managers and staff. On behalf of the University of Guyana, let me say thanks again to Professor Opadiah for his efforts to improve this vitally important institution and wish him well in the future. Going forward, I firmly believe that as a nation, Guyana must address decisively some of the challenges facing UG. To this end, Council approved yesterday the creation of a University of Guyana Transformation Task Force that will work with all sectors of our nation to devise a credible plan to address some of the chronic governance, resource, and other problems we face. UG is not only a government responsibility. It is not only a UG management and staff responsibility. It is not a student responsibility. It is a national responsibility. And it is critical that all sectors of our nation re-engage more to carry this institution to the next level for our sake and for the sake of generations to come. I thank you for the attention you have given me and ask all our graduates, their families, and all gathered here to commit to doing all that is necessary to make this University of Guyana one about which we can continue to be proud. Thank you.
Luana Pair, pass with
Rovina Ramlal.
For the best graduating bachelor's degree student. This year, the award is given to Sachin Ramsaran from the Faculty of Technology. We thank His Excellency the President for assisting us with the presentation of the President's Medal.
His Excellency, the President of Guyana, and himself a former valedictorian of the University of Guyana, Mr. David Granger. The Honorable Prime Minister and First Vice President, Mr. Moses Nagamutu. The Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Rupert Roopnaraine. Ministers of Government and Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, other senior members of UG's administration, members of the platform, relatives, friends, well-wishers, fellow graduates, good evening to you all. First of all, I request for every single person who is still here, and thank you for staying, to please put your hands together, cheer as loud as you can, and join with me in congratulating the graduating class of 2015. Congratulations to you, my colleagues. Today is our day to bask in the glory of our success. Today is our day to promulgate proudly that we have successfully endured the intense psychological exactitudes that have beleaguered us in our academic life at UG. That basically means UG was a lot of stress and we made it. Today is indeed our day. To reflect on your behalf on our years at the University of Guyana would be impossible because student life has been very different for us depending on which faculty we belong to. But regardless of the differences in the social aspects of our student lives, the fact that we are all graduating today implies that we all share several common qualities, such as self-discipline, dedication, and unwavering adherence to a philosophy of life which guided us in our most difficult times at UG. Additionally, we all share the proclivity to fabricate omnifarious explanations to our lecturers for our failure to submit assignments. And we developed that essential skill of cleverly negotiating with them for extensions to project deadlines. This skill was instrumental in putting me here. Fellow graduates, life is not deterministic, it is probabilistic. We cannot predict the future, but by making decisions which give us the highest probability of being successful, we can create the future that we want. One such decision we made was to enroll at the University of Guyana. Continue making such decisions, continue working hard, and continue sacrificing. And once you trust in God, your success will be guaranteed by His grace. Even if you don't believe in God, then you should start believing. Many graduates leave Guyana every year, the well-known brain drain problem. But I would encourage you, as we enter into our 50th year of independence, to reevaluate your goals, make a personal sacrifice, and think not of yourself, but think of our country and the less fortunate people in it. They deserve to be happy, and we who have been blessed with the knowledge to make that happen should not fail to do so. On a personal note, as a proud Hindu, I would like to give thanks to the Supreme Father of the universe, Lord Krishna. I am nothing without his blessings. I would like to say thanks to my parents. My father, he was my hero. And incidentally, his name is Hero. Had I lived up to my name, Sachin, I would probably be in Sri Lanka right now, giving much needed help to the West Indies batting lineup. To my mother, who has encouraged me and supported me 100% through this journey. To my uncle Nankumar, to all my family, to my dean, Ms. Trim, we did it again. To my HOD, Mr. Joe Mogil, to Ms. Class, and all my lecturers, to the staff I worked with during my attachments at GTNT and GWI, and last, but certainly not least, to my colleagues, my brothers and sisters from electrical engineering and the Faculty of Technology, who have done 57 courses over their 4 years at the University of Guyana. In my opinion, we are all valedictorians. Finally, colleagues, you have worked very hard and made tremendous sacrifices, and you have earned the right to say, I am a graduate of the University of Guyana. And you've also sat down here long enough. And Selwyn, this one is for you. For those of you who don't look at WWE, please indulge me. In the infamous words of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, finally, we have all graduated. I leave you with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi: be the change that you want to see in the world. Once again, congratulations to you all, and I bid you farewell.